What's up, it's Kainu back here again for another video. So today we have the top 10 Fate series fights. I've only seen Fate Stay Night and I think Fate Zero, I think it's called. Without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, here we go. One thing you can say about Fate, man. What was that? Alright, here we go. One thing you can say about Fate though, man, the animation is wild.
Anime fights, there's going to be at least one fight from any Fate series thrown around. And with the recent Blu-ray release of the Spring Song movie, the visual quality of Fate fights got to a whole new level. So since the main series is now over, it's time to take a look at 10 of the best fights in the Fate series. Okay, from now on, I'll let the noble phantasms do the talking.
Ooh, Gilgamesh was my favorite, dude. I love Gilgamesh. Just his character design, his ego. Just saying.
Who cares about the Battle of Servants when you have two sisters trying to kill each other? Well, Sakura is the only one with the killing intention. But Rin had to be a drama queen and go on with a callous attitude just so she can prove her point. Technically, Heaven's Feel isn't the official route of Rin, but she handled herself well for a side character and even managed to win Shiro's affection.
God, look at that animation, dude. This is going to be a wild top 10, for sure.
The battle wasn't something much longer like many other fights in the series, and it might just be Rin showing she's a badass when she has a knife in her hand. But this was a huge bonding moment for the two sisters, and the very final trigger to detach Sakura from the Angra Manu. Yeah, so technically Rin did most of the job.
She kill her sister? Do we find that out? Looks like it. What are the two names? Quetzalcoatl versus everyone?
Who is the most cheerful and sexiest overpowered goddess of all time? That's Quetzalcoatl. We've got a lot of gods running around in Babylonia, but the one to triumph them all is the one and only Quetzalcoatl. She doesn't challenge only one, but challenges all of them to
How many times do you think this guy had to say
that? Up with a lot of broken bones and ribs.
Just to like get it right.
Can we also take a moment to appreciate the choreography of the fight? It's got aero acrobatics, ground combat, fast-moving cameras, all
this really doesn't look like
2
Fate,
minutes
to be
of
honest, even though it is.
that ends with placing Quetzalcoatl on the best girl list. If you are playing the mobile game, now you know which servant to choose for your next battle.
If you guys were to like compare Fate to another series that I would know, what would you compare it to, like popularity wise?
Normally, in anime chases, you get these blurry movements with character monologues, but in Fate, you get to witness a chase that goes through the road,
noble phantasm.
and into
it probably
the
wasn't that powerful, but
glory.
It looked cool.
Ufotable is known for its brilliant camera animation because of the unique way they combine traditional 2D animation with CGI, and the result looks absolutely amazing. We have seen Lancer in action a lot, so the main focus of this fight is Assassin, and he managed to shine the spotlight all on himself when he literally ripped the heart out of our favorite servant and fed him to the Holy Grail. What can I say? Lancer died, and you aren't human.
Saber versus Lancer, okay. Is this from Zero? This kind of looks like Zero.
Number 8, Saber versus Lancer. Unlike many other fights in this list, this may not be a visual spectacle, but what matters is the strategy. Without even knowing the story, you can tell this is a fight between two legendary heroes. There's the concept of chivalry going around too often. Both opponents are intelligent enough to predict each other's moves. And there's the subtle tension going around, urging you to know what's going on next. Saber. In terms of tension, there are clearly many fights that can triumph this one, but this deserves a spot in my list purely due to the way it steps away from a traditional fight scene and implements more strategy to it. And don't forget, this is just Ufotable flexing their muscles. We always know what we get when they unleash their full power.
Yeah, they all got their little bankais. What do they call them? The noble phantasms. That's what they call them. Like I was saying,
the fights of the main series and take
the last few have not been from Zero or Stay Night, so I haven't seen these. Might need to check them out.
Battle royale to win the Holy Grail. And like all Fate storylines, in the end, the ones still standing strong in the game are the ones who are powerful. This means that you get the best of the fights later in the series, and I'm happy to say they didn't disappoint us with the Sieg versus Kana fight. This wasn't something done by Ufotable, but you can tell it matches the animation style of it all. The animators also made sure to combine their own unique style to the fight to make it more interesting. Even though Sieg was destined to triumph in this one, I still had my hopes up for Kana because he was my favorite. But he didn't have the power of being the main character, so his powers had to take a back seat.
You know, something I hate recently is that, like, animation sound, they had it in Fire Force. I don't know if other people like it, but I absolutely hate it. It's just so annoying. Alright, this one is Fate Zero, without a doubt.
In an anime about servants, we have a fight between humans. In a story about holy grails and magic, we have a lesson on human nature. Gen Urobuchi weaved an epic moral drama by combining ancient heroes with modern humans. And the climax of the story was between the two main agents of the war. One is an assassin blinded by a false ideal. The other is a crazy priest who finds great satisfaction in the most bizarre things. This fight resembles the Kakashi vs Obito fight, but with guns. There are no conversations, no subtle wordplay, no backstories of any sort. It's just two guys punching the hell out of each other via a complex magic system. From the start of the fight to Kiritsugu's ending bullet, everything was perfectly choreographed, and to this day, this is still one of the greatest fight scenes in the Fate series.
It was a good fight. I got nothing to say. I was just watching. Shiro versus Berserker.
Berserker
Bro, I love this music. Come on, play more.
Screaming and smashing things. And how can one human handle against the man who completed the 9 tasks of Hercules? With the 9 lives blade works, of course, the Heavens Feel route was what gave Shiro the most amount of character development. And with character development also came some overpowered abilities to take down giants single-handedly.
Damn, I need to watch Heaven's Field, man. This looks cool.
Since Ufotable got tons of movie budget, they weren't picky in spending the cash. So in return, we got this one gorgeous fight scene where Shiro takes down one of the strongest Greek heroes with his own weapon. Berserker got defeated for a second time in the Heaven's Feel franchise. So sorry, Mr. Hercules. Seems like you didn't land on the healthiest route.
God damn. Oh yeah, that's a good one. I remember this one. This is like right at the beginning of the series, if I remember correctly.
Two servants with the most rotten mouths go into a fight, and in return, you get a visual spectacle. Even though people are speaking a lot about other fights, I feel like this one isn't discussed very much in the community. If you judge by the name and think this is a fight between a guy with a bow and a guy with a lance, well, you're sorely mistaken. Think again. So what's the secret of this fight? Magic, animation, noble phantasms. Boy, there's a whole lot going on here. Both the servants unleashed their best attacks, and Ufotable didn't forget to complement all of that with their superb animation. Archer and Lancer gave us one hell of a showdown, and their fight was one of the best anime fights I've ever seen.
I've seen this one on TikTok. Saber Alter versus Berserk. This was like really popular when it first came out. I think it came out like a year or two ago.
Back when she was a normal servant, but her
Maybe
alter
3?
form takes things a step further and doesn't forget to land nukes with each of her attacks. That was only one major fight scene in the second Heaven's Feel movie, so Ufotable made sure to land more than half of the budget into this one fight scene. And needless to say, the output was epic, cinematic, and mind-blowing.
Hercules got cooked in this movie, or in this movie series.
Normally the servant to intimidate the audience in a fight like this would be Berserker, but Saber Alter had this aurora around her that foreshadowed her victory at the end of the fight. Her power levels had also grown in a drastic amount, as I mentioned. Instead of the Excalibur, she has the Excalibur Morgan, or should I say the full chant? Hammer of the Vile King. Overturn the Aurora, swallow the light, Excalibur Morgan.
Dang, dude, the freaking animation is just wild. And the music too? Saber Alter versus Rider. We didn't even get a Gilgamesh in here? That's diabolical. Come on. Come on, not a single
Fate
one.
fights can go back up to 15 years, but never in those 15 years have we witnessed something like this. Like most anime fight scenes, the stakes and visuals are what keeps the audience gripped. But this time, the stakes are amplified and the visuals have reached a whole new level. Yes, seriously, you can build an entire country from the budget allocated for these visuals alone.
I always hear people talk about the budget of things, but like, how much does this cost? Because I got no clue.
Ufotable gave their absolute best for their final Fate project, and this fight is the best example of it. There are multiple noble phantasms flying here and there, and each character got a moment to shine during the fight.
Wait, Shiro doesn't have Saber in the movie? Huh. I said it was another timeline.
To see Saber being one of the final villains in this specific Fate route. But on the other hand, we got to see Ryder and Shiro trusting each other and using powers to their highest potential. I don't know about you, but this is the most visually stunning fight I've ever seen in any anime so far, and I challenge you to prove me wrong.